Hi everyone, my name is Sierra Palika, and this is my appreciative inquiry presentation highlighting my problem-solving technique experiment done in the workplace this week. So to begin, I will explain to you guys the problem my coworker and I were experimenting with. We experimented with trying to improve the process of bringing agency workers into our work organization while at the same time improving the connection these agency workers have with our residents. So let me start by explaining our situation. I work in healthcare alongside my coworker Elena, who graciously agreed to help me out with this experiment. As with many healthcare facilities during this time, we are extremely short-staffed right now. Because of this, our work organization had to make the choice to bring agency into our facility. For those of you who don't really know what agency is, it is hiring someone from a separate company to come in and cover shifts when we don't have any of our own staff to work the hours. This means that these agency workers travel from facility to facility depending on where they are needed. While they do cover the shifts, more likely than not, they are unfamiliar with our facility routine and our resident needs. Now, if I learned anything from Operation Aja, it is that it is important to cater to the problem in order to find a solution. Like how Operation Aja caters to victims of TB by traveling to them and providing tests and medicine at their doorstep. In this way, I knew that we had to cater to our problem in order to find a solution. Now, I decided to work with my coworker Elena because she's been working at our facility for 5 years longer than I have, so I knew that she could help navigate me through what has worked in the past to alleviate some of the problems we've been facing due to bringing agency into our building. So with that, we got to work. We came up with our action plan, which consisted of collaborating briefly with our boss to find an old training checklist that Elena remembered from years ago, used to train oncoming staff members. This paper lists resident names, room numbers, and the cares each resident needs help with, including bathroom cares, PM cares, and meal reminders. We then discussed the routine of our 2 to 10 shift and wrote down on a separate piece of paper the tasks that needed to be done along with the times we usually do them on a daily basis. I would have liked to include these visuals in my presentation, but it is a violation of HIPAA, and so I was unable to. We then planned to give these resources to the next agency worker that came in on our shift to help him or her better understand our routine and better meet the physical and emotional needs of our residents. When first trying to come up with a solution to the challenges we've recently been facing at work, we decided to approach our situation as a training opportunity to teach oncoming agency workers the most important aspects of our shift. We came up with our plan by first referencing the 4D model. When discussing discovery, we both agreed that our organization functions best when there are workers present who know the routine and resident needs well within the facility. We discussed that our system works well when residents have an initial relationship with the caregiver helping them, and when the caregiver is properly trained on resident needs. The organization's positive core is the value put on resident care. When we were discussing the dream column, we both described imagining working as having employees, whether full-time or agency, who are aware of the tasks that need to get done and who care about building positive connections with our residents, as well as understanding their needs. When we were discussing the design column is when Elena came up with the idea to use the training checklist that was used in the past to train new employees as a new tool to train agency workers. We realized agency workers need to be properly trained quickly before working the floor. Of course, we had to make simple changes to the checklist, adding new residents we have recently gained at our facility, and taking off residents that we have lost in the past. All of our discussions and ideas led to the Destiny column, which is where we came up with our plan and how we were going to execute it properly to incorporate positive change into our organization and the process of bringing agency into our facility. After the experiment was executed, we noticed the agency worker was better able to understand and execute tasks given to her. We were surprised to hear the agency worker voice that she would be willing to help us out again because prior agency workers voiced their distaste for our facility and haven't been back at all. In my reflection of AI, I learned how morale tells you less about an organization than the positive situations going on within the organization. I also learned that focusing on what has gone right in the past can get you far when coming up with solutions to current challenges. I also learned that the 4D model really helps to navigate the positive core of an organization or a problem, and it is really useful when coming up with a solution. I would like to utilize AI in the future of my relationships, as talked about in the Lindsay Godwin video in this week's lesson materials, to better understand when my loved ones feel most loved and appreciated by me, to build off those moments to strengthen my relationships. Thank you for watching.